For centuries, humans have been growing alongside our botanical brethren. Our histories have mixed and mingled to bring us modern medical marvels, faded folklore, and everything in between. Of course, in order to understand the plant, we have to start with its roots. I'm M. Grebner-Gaddis, and this is Rooted. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Rooted. This week, we're digging into the Edward Cullen of the plant world, Dodder. Dodder, otherwise known as Cascutta, is a genus of parasitic plants in the Convolvaceae or morning glory family, which makes a lot of sense when you think about how they grow. These guys aren't too picky, but they do prefer loose soil with plenty of other plants around. Dodder is interesting because it doesn't actually contain much, if any, chlorophyll, and the leaves are virtually non-existent. They get most of their nutrients from their host plants, which they literally strangle and sink their teeth into. But instead of teeth, they actually have a creepy little probe called a hastoria, which essentially taps into the plant and sucks its nutrients directly out of it, making it literally a vegan vampire. In most cases, once Dodder starts, it's nearly impossible to stop. You've likely seen it swallowing up full prairies, replacing the canopies of trees, or strangling an innocent patch of wildflowers out in nature. This is because Dodder doesn't have to work to make its own food, so it's much easier to spread and absorb when you can cover more ground. Plus, these bad boys go to seed and send out hundreds of teeny tiny bits into the wind. And once those germinate, the only way to stop them from spreading is to pick them before they start to strangle. If you want to save a plant from the chokehold of Dodder, your odds are pretty slim. Unfortunately, you can't just rip the Dodder off of the plant. Instead, you need to rip it from the ground, separate it from the plant, and prune back anywhere that the Dodder was touching, as once those teeth sink in, there's no way to remove them, and the Dodder can actually grow back from one of those freaky little fangs. Pretty gross, honestly. And because it's such a menace, you might have imagined that it's casually banned in most places. It's illegal to sell seed, and even to knowingly sell crop seeds that could contain Dodder in them. While it sounds terrible, some plants have figured out a way around this. Specifically, one variety of tomatoes, which has actually developed a chemical receptor that reacts when the creepy little probes try to make their way in by hardening the stem and essentially starving the Dodder out by making it impossible for it to stick its probe into the stem. Interestingly, tobacco, which is another nightshade family member, was used in a study to determine if Dodder was capable of transmitting things or if it was simply sucking up nutrients from the host plants. Spoiler alert, it absolutely can transmit, and they know this because they dyed the cells of tobacco a fluorescent green, and sure enough, when they researched the Dodder that it had been attached to, there was a ton of just fluorescent green all over that creepy little spaghetti body. Absolutely disgusting. Truly the worst rendition of the flying spaghetti monster I've ever seen. This study did actually make me feel like dying a little bit on the inside. And while it was super unsettling, Dodder hasn't been all bad. In ancient Chinese medicine, Dodder was typically used to treat anything from general aches and pains to full-blown osteoporosis, though no further research that I found has really verified what's happening chemically. I could only find sources saying that it was used, but I couldn't even find, what they were doing with it. While Dodder is certainly interesting as a vampiric parasite, it's also gross, creepy, and everywhere. Next time you see it, do us all a favor and, just like the Volturi, rip their little heads off. That's all I've got for this week, but I'll be back with another longer episode soon. See you then. Until next time, be kind to yourselves, be kind to the earth, and just like a plant, drink your water. If you liked the show, please subscribe and consider leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you listen. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at rooted.pod. We're finally updating regularly on YouTube at rooted.podcast, and you can check out our website, rootedpod.com, for transcripts, updates, merch, and so much more. The show is written, produced, and hosted by me. I'm Grebner Gaddis, edited by Kat Friend of Friend Diagram, and our theme music was written and produced by Eric Cluxon. Rooted is a Henbane Media LLC production.